Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. Thank you so much for joining me once again in today's video. So today we are talking about the gift giving. So this is my part 2 of the eco gift giving guide, but really in today's video I'm going to be showing you, I'm going to be sharing with you a few gift giving ideas that you can implement in this holiday season that are relatively low cost. They kick a high punch in the intentionality department, and I will be giving you some tips if you are buying for an eco lover, if you're buying for a health lover, just basically most of us, someone who loves spirituality and so who is slowly connected to, who's basically a spirit junkie, and someone who has stress, anxiety, overwhelm. So basically you're purchasing for me. Okay, if you're interested in finding out some of my gift giving ideas that will sure to impress this holiday season, then just stay tuned and let's get started with the video. Okay, so I broke this down into different categories just to make your life a little bit easier, because honestly, I think that when you're giving gifts, it can feel super overwhelming, especially if you're purchasing for someone that you may or may not know too well. So I kind of made a list, like a big list. So let's say that you are buying a gift for an eco lover, somebody who is very environmentally conscious, someone who just really pays attention to the type of products that they buy. They don't want to buy, you know, from a company that does animal testing or that they're creating a lot of waste with their packaging. Well, a few options that are available for you for that person. Well, first of all, like the easiest thing that you could ever purchase for that person really is just a gift card. And you can buy that gift card to any of the Etsy stores. So Etsy is an excellent resource when it comes to, you know, finding more eco-friendly products. They are handmade, which already like a huge check mark for most of the eco lovers. You can buy, you can basically search for the different companies that you're purchasing from. If they're vegan, if they are environmentally conscious, a lot of them will tell you about their packaging and the type of packaging that they are using. So that would be your guiding light. But you can, if someone is becoming a little bit more environmentally friendly, then you can just buy them a simple little travel kit. An eco travel kit would include probably like a cutlery, a holder for that cutlery, a straw cleaner. Those are usually excellent. Any of the bags that you can get, so don't just think grocery bags, think bags that you can hold like bulk items in. So things like lentils, pasta, beans, anything like that that are dried goods. Having a bag for that so that that person can go and shop for it in bulk makes their lives so much easier. They're relatively inexpensive. They're awesome because they're super useful. You can also get things like a coffee filter, again, very inexpensive, but at the same time, it'll make that person's life so much easier. So these are just some of the ideas that I have here for you. You can also buy like a travel mug and you can add like a little straw to it. Then that way they can drink something cold or they can drink something warm. Bamboo straws are excellent for that because bamboo straws will not transfer the cold. So usually with the stainless steel straws, I found that it just gets really cold really quickly. So if you want, you can just buy them a bamboo straw. They will thank you for it. Moving on. You can go, again, Etsy is going to be a great resource for you. You can also go with a company like Wholesome Culture, where they have t-shirts, shirts, sweatshirts, things like that, where part of the proceeds goes towards saving animals. So anytime that you can find companies where they have a giving back component to a charity or a company that goes after saving animals or, you know, rescuing animals or, you know, saving animal, like, or supporting animals like with wildlife or with ocean life or things like that, will always be a more meaningful gift for the vegans in your life. You can also go with something like Me to We if you're looking for a giving back component. Obviously there's 1,000,001 charities. I personally love Me to We. They have, I looked at their holiday catalog just recently, and as low as like 50 bucks, you can buy a goat, which sounds dumb, I know, but you can actually buy a goat, and then it actually supports a family in India where they are able to make a living just by getting a goat, by using their milk and, you know, creating products from the milk and whatnot. I will leave a link again for everything that I'm mentioning in this video down in the description so that you can check them out, and then you can sort of just at least have some choices available of like who you're purchasing for, and then will that idea help you at all or not. I don't know why I can't speak today. So staying with the health lovers and the vegan lovers, so like if you have people in your life that are not eating meat and they are not consuming any animal products, another great gift would be for them to just like, you can purchase a ticket to go to a lavender farm, so as a visit to a lavender farm as a tour, or you can purchase a ticket to a farm where they can go and visit either at an animal sanctuary, or you can go to a farm and then you can pet baby goats, which is, I mean, like, obviously that's on my list, clearly. I have a thing for baby goats. You can also go and basically when you're looking at any of the local farms, and to kind of just look around and see what's around you, but local farms, visits to local farms, visits to like smaller towns where you can really support smaller mom and pop operated, individually operated businesses, it's always going to be more meaningful because it's a one-of-a-kind item that you're purchasing. You're not really supporting like the large chain. Things like handmade jams are an excellent, jams, chutneys, that sort of thing, where now we're moving into the food items. But honestly, basically just think a little bit outside of the box when it comes to purchasing, because a lot of these items that I'm telling you about are usually really low cost. So let's say that the person that you're purchasing for plays sports. Well, you can get like a small accessory for whatever sport that person is involved in. Or you can also create a playlist. So let's say that that person is a runner, or that person does yoga but then they practice at home. You can actually create a small playlist on Spotify and then you can send that to them. It's not so much about the cost, it's more like the meaning behind the cost that I want you to really focus on. So things like that are awesome because they're actually useful gifts, and it might take you maybe an hour to create a playlist, but it will be so cool and so meaningful. Let's say that you're a baker. Let's say that you love baking or you love cooking, and you know that the person that you're buying for are not very big in baking or cooking, but you know that they're very health conscious. You can just share with them your favorite recipe for a smoothie, your favorite recipe for an energy bar if you do bake them, or your favorite recipe for, you know, like a family hand-down recipe of like your favorite appetizer. Again, something that's not necessarily cost you money, it more costs you mental energy, because then you actually have to think about it of what type of gift you actually want to give that friend of yours or that coworker. Moving on to the spiritual friend. What if your friend, or what if the person that you're purchasing for are it's sort of like a spirit junkie? What will you buy for that person? And you might be like, I don't know, I have no idea. So you could keep it very simple, and you could either suggest a podcast if they're not already listening to a podcast. You can go to any crystal stores. I mean, at this point, even Indigo has started selling crystals, which is kind of cool. If you look on Indigo's website, they have started creating these little boxes, and then they have a little write-out about each of the crystals that are included in they have it in boxes, and then they also have candles that have crystals in them, so that would be kind of cool. You can get a small crystal. Honestly, it's super inexpensive. And you can get either a mini sage, or you just get a normal sage stick. Again, this is like, I'm talking like this is under $10 that I'm giving you right now. And then you can just write a small handmade note, and you can let them know how much that person means to you, the meaning of that particular crystal, and then maybe how you would recommend using them. If you have absolutely no idea how to use crystals, you can check out some of my previous videos where I kind of show you spiritual practices of how you can actually utilize a smaller tumbled piece. So things like, you can get something like this. Like, this is a small tiger's eye. I believe that, at least that's what they told me that it is. but you can get like these small tumbled pieces, and you can use them as an altar offering, or you can use that to channel energy when you're feeling nervous or anxious, or you can use them in difficult conversations, or you can just use them in normal day-to-day conversations where you want to really take it with you, because it helps you, like you set an affirmation and it reminds you of that affirmation. Whatever the case may be, I'll leave it up to your creativity, but honestly, you can just keep a simple note that says, hey, I thought of you when I saw this crystal. The meaning of this crystal is that it helps you channel, it deepens friendship, and let this be a token of our friendship. And I hope that every time you see this, you will carry it with you and you think of me and you smile. Keep it very simple. You can also get things like intention cards, affirmation cards. Hay House is excellent resource for that. So again, I will link them below. Danielle Laporte is another great resource where she has, I believe, it's not affirmation cards. It's basically like a little deck, and then it has like little motivational messages on them, and then you just kind of tear it off and then see which one you need. I will just show you a quick picture of it here. Again, link in the description. Another great resource is Shanti Collective. They do have beautiful, I mean beautiful small piece crystals that you can buy. Again, they're selling that as an altar offering. You can buy them in a bundle with mala beads or with mala bracelets or with necklaces if you wanted to buy it as a bundle. They have them based on intention, so if you wanted for someone who's a free spirit or someone who's more introverted, they have them based on that as well, which I thought it just makes it very idiot proof for a lot of the purchasers. And you can also get like any type of spiritually driven book. Again, Hay House will probably be your best bet when it comes to that, or you can just go to Indigo or any of the local like family owned bookstores that they have sort of like different categories, and then you can kind of get some guidance on what they would recommend, because they kind of see like some of the newer stuff that comes in. That's all I wanted to share with you for the spiritual person. And let's say that the person that you're buying for is either a business owner or they are just super overwhelmed and they want like time-saving things that are really, it's just gonna make their life so much easier. You can get a mug, and I know it sounds dumb. You can get a mug, and then you can also get a mug warmer. Amazon is excellent for that. I know, I don't know why I'm suggesting Amazon, but I saw it and I thought it was so cute. No, literally, it has a USB port, it plugs in. I believe you can get like a cute donut one. If somebody is working in an office, they will thank you for it, because then it keeps their muggies nice and warm. You can also get, if they are an entrepreneur or you're finding that they're really into spirit, like if they're really into personal growth, you can look into like a full schedule of different seminars. If you know that they follow a certain influencer, then you can literally, like that in itself could be a gift where you just provide them with some information of, hey, I think that you would be interested in this. So again, don't focus so much about the cost of a certain event or a cost of, like a certain product. You could just be like buying that influencer's book, and then after that you add like a little card in the book that says, hey, but this person also has like upcoming events next year for March. Deadline is February 5th. I don't know, something like that. But you get my point on leadership, on business development, on marketing. Marketing is always going to be a really big component in any business owner's life. So trust me, they will thank you for it. And again, like if you wanted to just keep it very simple and you find that this is maybe just your friend who is a stay-at-home mom, then some of the things that you can get that are like super awesome. I mean, again, I'm kind of looking at this list and I'm like, wow, like if I got half of this, I would be super happy. You can get a cleaning service literally scheduled in for that person like before Christmas. Or you can also look into meal planning services and maybe order them a meal for a week or for a month if you feel comfortable with it. You can also look at online books with online meal planning services. You can also look at online recipes. Maybe you would research like 1 week or 2 weeks worth of recipes, or maybe a month's worth of. If you're buying for someone who gets overwhelmed easily, maybe it's a mom, maybe it's one of your really good friends and you know that they've been struggling with anxiety and overwhelm for a really long time. Like, what can you really give that person? Do you want to buy them more stuff? No. Do you? I don't know. Maybe. Well, here's what I got. Maybe that person, what that person actually needs is connection, and you're giving them the opportunity to connect. So maybe you buy them a ticket to go somewhere with you or with their families. Maybe you buy them a concert ticket. If it's a lower cost concert ticket, you can go to like a live theater and then get a ticket to that. Maybe you're looking at, you know, helping that person not to feel so overwhelmed. So usually a lot of times when overwhelm sets in, at least that was the case for me, it was because I tried to do everything all at once and I tried to do them all at the exact same time. So one of the biggest things that have helped me is to create a structure around just how do you reduce and how do you reduce the things that you focus on. So books on minimalism, books on, like there's a book called The Essentialist, excellent book. It will help that person so much to just focus on the main thing, because sometimes, especially if you get overwhelmed, it can feel like everything is the main thing. You need to focus on everything. And or you can look at podcasts and audiobooks that also focus on the same thing. One of the most excellent books that I have read is The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up from Marie Konodo. I think it's Marie Konodo. And she also has another book that I just saw recently, and it was in the same section at Indigo, where it's like an animated, like it's made out of pictures, and then she has like pictures showing of how to like organize your closet, how do you fold a shirt properly. Things like that will make someone who gets overwhelmed easily, like they need step by step structure. So if you can give them that gift, they will love you for it, because then you're not just, they understand, well, they will look at that gift like, wow, like how thoughtful are you? And even if their, you know, their closet is spotless, but just learning the concept of how do you stay focused? How do you just zoom in your focus onto the main thing? Like most of us struggle with that, but some of us get triggered more than others, especially if they have the tendency of like perfectionism or just doing things in a certain way, and then anything beyond that is just not good enough. If that's your friend or that's one of your loved ones, give them a gift of like something like essentialism or minimalism, where really a lot of the times you end up eliminating a lot of things so that you can focus on just the things that actually make the biggest impact. And obviously you can also just simply stick with local, go to some of the local family-owned businesses and support them, because then that actually, like that alone is pretty meaningful. So ultimately, it's not about the stuff, it's more about what is the intention behind the stuff. One thing I wanted to share with you that I thought was really excellent, and maybe if you're interested, I can show you like a quick tutorial about it. But I bought this, okay, so I have the case, here we go. I bought a Sprocket like a while ago, which is basically just a small little printer. You can fill these up, like I think 10 of these pictures, like 10 photo papers, or like 25 is maybe like $5 or $10. It's not very expensive to replace them. But what you can do is like it fills it up with paper that has glue in the back of it, so it has an adhesive so that you can stick them into your bullet journal. So one thing that you could do if you're buying for someone who is a bullet journal, besides just getting them new pens and so you can get them something like this if your budget allows, but you can, if you have this, then you can just print a bunch of pictures out, and instead of like, you can make them like a little scrapbook picture, something that just makes it a little bit more meaningful, and then they remember you. So these are just some of my ideas that I have for you. I would love to know, what are you buying for? If you are part of like a secret Santa, are you able to utilize any of these ideas? And list one gift that is just out of the ordinary for you. That is not like you going into Best Buy and then you're buying like, I don't know, a 42-inch TV. I would love to hear some of your ideas of what you would recommend for the eco lover, the health lover, the spiritual lover, and someone with anxiety. What would you recommend? Just give me like one out of all four of these categories. I would love to hear one of your gift giving ideas, but this is all I wanted to share with you guys. And I so hope from the bottom of my heart that you will make this holiday season intentional and beautiful, and you have all the gratitude in the world for being here. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for being here, for sticking with me, and for supporting me on my channel. It truly warms my heart. And don't forget to subscribe. If you have enjoyed this video and you find it helpful and useful, don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video. I usually release a video 3 times a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and once on the weekends. Now that we're moving into the holiday season, this may change. I will keep you posted if it does. But in the meanwhile, I usually go into topics like green beauty, some recommendation, how to reduce your waste and your consumption, how to be a bit more mindful and intentional with your choices. And if that sounds good to you, then what you can do, and if you're not sure what I'm going to be releasing certain videos, each week on Sundays, I usually send out an email that sort of recaps some of the best takeaways from each of my videos, and it gives you the schedule for the upcoming week. If that sounds good to you, I left the link down in the description so you can sign up for that. Totally free and complimentary to make your life easy. And thank you so much for sticking with me. I hope you have yourself a wonderful weekend, and keep seeking wellness seekers, and just keep shining your light. And I will see you again next week. Bye. Just a quick announcement, you guys, before we get into the bloopers. I have actually created a downloadable guide that you can download for free that will show all of the links and all of the pictures of everything that I'm mentioning in this video today. So link in the description. Okay, have fun with the bloopers.
Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. Today we are... Start again. Hello everyone, and thanks so much for joining me today. I'm still trying to make it so that you can see the background. We don't care about your background, Mesh. Okay. That was fun. It stopped again. Okay. So going back to if you're buying for a business owner, or if you're buying for someone who loves technology, or someone who gets really... Stop playing with it. Honestly, what's with the phone, man? Why is somebody calling me from Ottawa? Like, anyway.